You're making waves, Mark.
Okay, hang on a second. So I need you keeping an eye on this.
It said you.
Oh.
No, I took mine off the TV
Okay.
already.
I think
We
she's
need
like
to
you
mute.
do.
All right. Woo! Sorry about that, everybody. Welcome. We are live, and I want to make sure that I can share my screen. It doesn't appear as though I can share my screen. Can you share your screen? All right, folks, can you hear me? I cannot hear you. Thank you. We're making it. All right. Welcome to our May team meeting. Can I get a thumbs up from someone on the screen if you can hear me okay? All right. Thank you, web team. I see many thumbs. Thanks for your patience. Wow, May is here. A race season. Amanda Gordon. That is awesome. All right. We are going to dive right in. We got a lot of ground to cover and less time to do it than we used to, so we're just going to keep on rolling.
Okay, so last month we welcomed Julie Roth, who joined our incredible web team, who I know is joining. So they are here. And we also welcomed Ellie Cundiff, who I know said if she wasn't here, she'd be on Zoom. So she is probably out there in Zoom land as well. So welcome to both of them. We're excited to have you here.
This isn't a fresh welcome, but it's a fresh welcome-ish. Ashley Cyphers reactivated her license in the last couple of weeks. So, Dee, good to see you. Welcome back. Nick, come on up.
Yeah.
Nick, new MCA, taking the floor for the first time. How's it going?
It's going good. So obviously, wow. Okay, that the way I want it. I'm sorry. It is going. So April, we're talking about profit share, 38,307.70. It's not on here. Whoever made it slide, stand up.
No, that was me. That was me.
We're gonna
I rounded down.
No, he rounded down. But
You gotta want it.
So awesome profit share. And then moving on to our 2022 April cappers, Carol Cooper, Amy Guthrie, Michelle Knight, Melissa Millmeyer, and Susan Quilter.
Wow.
So round of applause.
The ladies showing up. And special note, I don't know if you're on here today, but Melissa Millmeyer vaulted into the #1 spot year to date. She had a monstrous April. So watch out. Target's on. We support each other. We love each other. We just like to say that's one thing.
Our April top producers list: Jessica Adkins, Andy Alamini, Carol Cooper, Mercedes Dunn, Jared Dutton, Cindy Glasser, Amanda Gordon, Amy Guthrie, Tom Heidi, Sam Holmes, Michael Humphreys, Jillian Johnson, Tracy Jones, Marcy Klee, Christian Lamb, Laura Meenan, Melissa Millmeyer, Jen Mucci, Talithia Mummertz, Ryan Prosser, Katie Shemek, Lori Sjosted, Roman Smith, Julie Smith-Geyser, Kelly Starr, Melissa Steiner, Chris Trees, Holly Van Riper, and Stephanie Webb.
Woo!
Amazing job on this.
First time reading through the full list. That was pretty good pronunciation.
If I got names wrong, we can find a stake later.
He was doing it with marbles in his mouth earlier, kind of getting his diction down.
Yeah.
We also want to give a nod.
Yes, so we're also going to give a nod to April top producers of the expansion groups. So that would be Bree Beedling, Brandon Fleming, Rachel Hogue, Alyssa Kingzette, Brianna Lemon, Henry McCauley, Jose Medina, Tiffany Pepper, Melissa Sanford, and Lance Tran.
Woo! Well done, everyone. Nick likes gifts. He likes whiskey. He likes words of encouragement. The work that he's doing now in picking up the reins is truly incredible. So thanks for your patience. Rich, I think you were next on tap to hit on some of those things. And
Right.
I like fruit.
So, poor guy, yeah. So coming up to talk about two things that are really commission and compliance. That's why I said I hope nobody has any fruit, because I feel like we're gonna get thrown at us. We know that there has been struggles with Jan as far as compliance wise, and we are really trying to make this as easy as humanly possible. I want to give a shout out to two people that in particular over the weekend worked their rear ends off to get us caught up, to continue to get you guys paid in a timely fashion. And that is Lynn and Amanda. They dove in and stopped where Jan kind of left off. And yeah, and they said we want to get everybody paid. And they dove through, I don't know, it was what, over 100 different files. So we know that Jan has been a little bit strong-willed in getting the things that we need done, looking for check boxes and missed signatures and things like that. So she's backing off a little bit. We're trying to ease out of this. But what's happening is we're getting to the point where we need you guys to be submitting the green sheets and demand compliance at least a week before your check is going to get here, because that's why we're getting so backed up. We are getting backed up in the office simply because we get a check and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, where's my commission? Well, your compliance isn't done. And now 5 to 7 days later, we're all still working on these things. So just want to say Nick as well has done an amazing job. This guy was here till 4:30 in the morning on a Saturday. He worked all day Friday, all Friday night until 4:30 in the morning. Like your team is working hard, guys. They are working really hard to get you guys paid. So congratulations. Dedication. So Nick, go ahead and talk
Yeah.
a little bit about how we're gonna get you paid faster. We know it's slowed down a little bit.
Yeah, so I want to talk about two things quick. There are two processes that really impact you guys getting paid once you've closed. One of those is your green sheet and or command, not and, but or command commission requests. So submitting those requests via green sheet or command commission request, those trigger compliance. So originally Jan was going through and just trying to find loops, and there's so many that that's not an option. What we're doing is we are putting, once you guys submit a green sheet or a command commission request, that goes on an audit sheet for Jan to know she's doing that about a week before closing, like Rich said. What that'll do is give us a week to make sure compliance is ready to go. And typically about a week out, not much is changing on your closing to affect your green sheet or command commission request. Doing it way before.
So guys, I can't hear my phone.
The payment may get messed up because the numbers you're putting on your green sheet or your command commission request may be inaccurate, and we'll try to fix those, but that's why that week time frame is where we're thinking is best. With compliance, again, yes, submitting the green sheet and command commission request, that will get started. We're working with Jan, like Rich said. She is going to get through that list. The goal is to get through that list once a day minimum. So she's going to be getting through that list. And then be patient with us. She's also new in that process, so we're working on that. Amanda's been great, and Jan as well. That shout out so deserved. And yeah, we're gonna make sure you guys get paid, and it's going to get quicker. We appreciate your patience. Thank you for your patience with me. If you've sent me emails or if you've called me and I haven't gotten back to you, know that I will. And I know there's a lot of fires, and I'm working on putting them out.
Yep. Thank you.
Yes. So that's it. But thank you guys.
All right, great. Thanks, Nick. All right, so a couple other things. I want to introduce, those of you may have seen Erica Chelko. She is in the back here. She is our Director of Operations now. If you guys are unaware, Jose not only does he have Legacy Group, but we also have Elevate in Strongsville. And as of what, today, tomorrow? Today, living in Solon. So we are growing, guys. We are growing, and it's amazing. So that's, you may have seen in some of the slides that Jose has done over the last few months, kind of our overview of who everybody is. So obviously we know Jose is our operating principal. That has not changed. I am your general manager and broker. That has not changed. And Erica is the director of operations for all three of those brokerages. So you're going to see her interacting with the staff, interacting with the agents. You'll see her on a regular basis. She doesn't have an office here yet, but she is, and I say yet, I don't know if she will, but she is in the front here on a pretty regular basis. So if you see her, say hello. So, I want to cover real quick about commissions. We have had probably about 5 people over the last week. It's great. You guys are all buying houses for yourselves, which is great. But how that works with commission is if you are not capped, we don't care if you're using your commission for closing costs, if it's helping with your down payment, however you want to use that commission. Remember, the market center, we're only getting $475 of that commission. We give the rest of it back to you. So that's $250 minimum commission, whether you're buying or selling, and $225 additional commission fee. So $475 total, don't care how we get it. That's what we're going to take as part of it. The rest of it, you can use how you want. Now, we don't advance commission, so you can't use it before you actually have it. And only your broker can pay a commission to you. You can't get the seller to advance a commission to you, and you can't use that on a settlement statement showing that the seller is giving you anything other than closing cost credit. So what you would do is an addendum that I would sign, the other broker would sign. It would just say you're reducing your commission to $475. That's how that would work. Okay. We are not saying it's a commission. We are reducing our commission as the brokerage. You're getting a credit from closing costs. Does that make sense? Okay, because we've had a couple, go ahead.
If you're capped, is it?
So if you're capped, it's just a $225 additional commission fee. That's it. Yep.
You thinking about buying a house, Holly?
We're buying Another one
Not
on.
even funny.
You know, it's good that we actually buy houses every now and again because it reminds us of the stress that our clients actually go through and the headaches that you have.
Why do you all do this?
Yeah. And then just as a kind of piggyback on what we were talking about just a little bit ago is if you are using .loop to submit, please submit your loop. There is a submit your loop button. And honest to goodness, as good as anybody can be. I mean, Amanda tore through these amazingly when she was doing compliance, but even to her credit, she was going through 10 loops just to get one document found and then trying to put them together. Jan's not going to do that. So you guys, please, one loop, get it submitted, archive the rest of them so we can get you paid quicker. Okay? Any questions? Okay, thanks.
Thanks, Rich.
I have gotten some questions or comments. Rich, I didn't tee you up for this. MLS Now just sent a big, hairy, long email with like 12 updates. Do you want to comment on that?
Well,
I was going to say,
we don't have.
click the link,
Yeah, we
dive
don't have
in.
time, but Wednesday, May 18th at 11:30, I am doing my class on what to know about real estate. I will cover all of those, so it's an updated version, so all the MLS rules as well. Yes.
Awesome. Thank you. You're so prepared, guys. Rich Cosgrove, everybody. All right, we are moving through this, given all that we have to cover, but this is a commercial for, is it next week? Tuesday, May 17th. If you have not experimented within campaigns for Command, as far as generating leads, getting out in front, advertising listings, it's a good thing to explore. Lynn is teaching that class next week if gaining leads is something that you are interested in. And I think most people are. So come to that. Good enough? Jessica, Cliff, come on down.
Good morning, everybody. Cool. I do like that. He's always silent. So, well, good morning. I won't take up too much of your time. I know we got to kind of move through some things though, but what I wanted to do was kind of talk about, and I know we placed our marketing admin, Kate, posted a thing out about a new purchase, like a cash buying program. And I just kind of want to introduce it. It's not active in Ohio yet, but I wanted to kind of give you some details about this particular program. So it's a wonderful thing. It's basically, we're going to being able to allow buyers to become cash buyers, can make a cash offer. Okay. So we're going to take each one of our buyers that we have right now, we're going to run them through our fast track pre-approval process, which means get them fully underwritten, verify whatever assets they have available, to qualify for the financing and be able to make sure that they are good to go once this transaction closes. And they'll be able to, we'll have proof of funds and everything through our partner company. Zavvy is going to be the name of the company that's going to be basically showing the cash, option for these particular buyers. And it's going to work for not just if you need to sell your house and use the proceeds for that, it can be used for just a person that's ready to buy as well, as long as we can verify the assets on their side. So like total game changer, guys, this is going to really put borrowers in a better position now to help be stronger in regards to making their offers, as opposed to just having a lending option. So it's going to be very cool. We'll get more specifics on that once that program starts to roll out.
And then also too, right now, if the customer goes through our fast track pre-approval process, meaning that they provide all of their documentation up front, so like W-2s, tax returns, pay stubs, we can actually lock in their rate, because I know that that's a big issue with clients right now. So we're super excited to have the lock and shop. Again, it kind of goes back to the fast track pre-approval though. Again, like if the customer doesn't provide all of their information up front, they won't be able to do that. But the benefit is that it's encouraging the customer to get their docs in, they get a mortgage loan commitment, and they can lock their rate. So this is really huge for us as well. Then just a couple reminders. Yes.
How long is the lock good for?
It's typically 30 to 60 days. So I'd have to double check on that, but it depends on like the customer's finances, when their credit expires, things like that. So it's going to range with the client. And then if you are getting an earnest money check and it is not from your actual client, please let your lender know, because if it's from somebody completely different, it's considered a gift. And we want to make sure that it is like an acceptable donor. I've just been seeing that a lot lately on some files. So I just wanted to give a quick reminder on that. And then also, Cliff, you have a workshop coming up.
Yes,
and then we have another one in June, and it's going to be like a communication class. Like we had talked with Mark about, like how we can give the customer a better experience, like how the agents and the lender communicate. And then things that we expect and then things that you expect. So I think it would be a really good class. I would love it if everybody could come, so we can get, some better communication for our clients and better experiences.
All right, guys. So any questions before we step down? Anybody
Oh,
have
yeah.
any questions or scenarios or anything? Yeah, definitely stay tuned for our, our class this month. I'm gonna be basically just talking, the new home buyer process, because things have changed from when a buyer has, bought a home, just even last year till now. So we're gonna kind of go over some of, just some of the new things and nuances, questions that they may have, concerns, and just really, it's gonna be real informative. And what Christian and I had a great first-time home buyer class with one of his outings that he had. And we went over the whole process of what's new for them and what to expect and just those types of things. So I'm gonna kind of cover all those things, like what, would entail in that particular process, and then we'll kind of move from there. Okay? All right, guys.
Apparently white jacket day. On brand. Awesome. Tracy, it's our time. So when your people ask, how's the market right now? You can come on now. How are you responding this week? It's tricky, right?
Yep.
When the market is moving as quickly as it is right now, where truly this week is different from last week, and that depends whether you're buying or selling, that depends on the location that you're in, that depends on the price point that you're in, all of those variables are in play. Setting expectations is more important than ever, because your clients, they're reading the news, they're talking anecdotally, their 3 months, their awareness of things is through 3 months in the rearview mirror. And so wanted to have a conversation with Tracy Jones. Tracy, give us a 30-second who you are for those who may not know you.
30 seconds. Ashland, Ohio is where my team's located. I was raised in Mansfield. I carried mail within an hour radius of that. So that's basically the service area of my team. My husband is on my team. We do all the things. We're empty nesters, so our business is our baby, I guess, at this point in time. So great team, great culture.
Mhm. And on pace to do how many units this year?
Probably about 300.
Yeah.
We're in
The
about
goal-
50 million.
The goal was
pace
less
this year.
than that, but they're crushing it right now.
That's my phone. My cheat sheet on it.
Oh, yeah,
Right now,
that's okay. We
transactions.
rip. I always send people questions. Oh, yeah. Wanted Tracy to help have this conversation because I think one of your strengths is clarity and decisiveness in presenting yourself professionally to your clients. So, as you're engaging with buyers, as you're engaging with sellers, we all are facing different expectations, spoken or unspoken. What are some of the most common misplaced expectations that you and your team are facing right now as it pertains to your clients?
Price for sure. There's a lot of what I call pie in the sky ideas of what they think their home is worth. I'm always data driven. I bring comps. I know that you think that this house is worth $200,000, but every house on this street sold for 150. So odds are pretty good we're going to get 150. So it's just setting expectations. And I don't necessarily argue with them because I'm not opposed to challenging the market. However, we set those expectations. And with buyers, we've been setting expectations with them. If their price range, they're pre-approved for 150 and that's all the higher they can go. And we want them to be competitive. We want them to win. We're looking at 120. Because if somebody's pre-approved for 150, they need to know, and you guys can tell where my price range is at. Luxury is not my game. But they need to know that. They need to know if we have to go 20 or 30 over, you need to look at a lesser price point. And the expectations are, well, I want this and I want that and I want this. And sometimes you just have to be committed to the relationship and committed to that buyer, so to speak, that in our area, if you're at 100, 110, the odds of the basement being wet are about 90%.
Yeah.
But the first time they walk down into a basement, they're the basement's wet, right? And you got $100,000 budget. We're a little bit kinder than that, but they're like, but I want a dry basement. I want this, I want that. Well, this is the price range we're at. The first or second house, they're kind of like, they think that, we're not being completely honest with them. Somebody lose their phone. I'm like, ding, ding, ding.
It's in here.
I love that about my watch. I
Yeah.
use my phone all the time, so I'm always like, where you at? But we explain to them, this is a price point where we're gonna see wet basements. This is a price point where we're gonna see this. And sometimes you just have to show them 3 or 4 houses, and then at the 4th house, they're like, oh, wow, they all kind of have wet basements. Yeah, they do. They do. That's right. And it's just setting those expectations and being honest and continually, if you show up and you're transparent, you're honest. I mean, honesty, integrity, transparency is that is my mission statement, so to speak. If there's no fluff and it's just, this is what it is, and every time you show up, this is what it is, they buy in. Okay, I get it. If I can only spend this much, this basement's gonna be wet, right? Let's look at the gutters. Let's talk about things that we can do to maybe eventually fix the basement so it's not as wet, or know that it's spring and everything is wet. Well, the ground's mushy, no kidding. You're in Ohio, it's spring. Everything's wet right now, everything's muddy, and it's in just continuing that narrative with them and not trying to. On my team, we work really hard on the relationship. We're not trying to sell them the house, we're trying to build a rapport. And we tell them, as buyers, we tell them that we're like, hey, we're not trying to sell you this house. We want you to find the best house for you. We want you to feel comfortable with us. We're always more concerned about the relationship than we are about the sale. The sale will happen if the relationship is there. And even with my sellers, it's the same thing. When I walk through a seller's house, I'm not gonna be like, oh, this is the best house ever. Can I put my sign in your yard? I love this. This is great. I'm gonna be like, that's a problem. When buyers walk through, they're gonna point that out. We're gonna get beat up for that. So just know if there's a home inspection, we're probably gonna get beat up for that. We're gonna get beat up for this. Just be honest with them and prepare them for. And then we get these offers or we get feedback and they're like, there's a crack in the wall. And they're like, oh, Tracy, you said that they would point that out. Yeah, absolutely. And I always tell them, I'm like the sore thumb. When you walk through a house, and what's the sore thumb? What's the one thing when people walk out of this house, what's the one thing that they're going to remember about that house? And they all watch the HGTV. It's the dog house, or it's the blue house, or it's the 70s house. What are they going to name your house? And are you okay with going on market with it being that house?
So you can set expectations up front. You can have a good initial consult. You can say the right things in the initial call, but oftentimes it's less about setting than it is about adjusting.
Yes.
So we're now 4 houses in. We've missed out on a couple of offers. The person's losing energy and maybe they're disappointed in either the process or you. How do you handle that moment, which so many people who work with buyers in this market are obviously facing?
Oh, yeah, for sure. If you haven't done a buyer's consultation with them, even if you have, it's time to do it again. And what we talk about on my team is it's called a funnel. We put them in the funnel, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, Ninja Selling, and then I believe there's a funnel even in Shift. Sit down and have that real conversation with them. Okay, we've lost 5 offers. Why have we lost those 5 offers? Let's look at this. And not to be like blunt about it, but okay, this was 100. I told you it would probably take 115. You insisted 100. We lost. This was 100. I told you it was going to be 115. You want 105. We lost. Are you ready to do 115? Are you ready to, and it's just a matter of taking a good inventory of where you're at, what you're doing, and sitting down with that client and just be honest with them and be a consultant, like be the expert in your field and be the expert in your area. And a lot of the agents on our team, they will 100%, and some of the listing agents will tell you, some will not. They'll be like, man, I lost again. Well, your seller let you know. Can you tell me why or how we lost? What could we have done differently? And our area, you know, we're a little bit different because, you know, we're so rural. Most of the time, the listing agent will be like, you know, we had a cash offer, or yeah, there was one that didn't want inspections, or you were VA and we wanted conventional. And they'll tell us, and we use that to consult our clients. Because if you have an FHA buyer that got beat out by a cash buyer and you're like, man, we got beat out by a cash buyer, they're not going to turn on you because there's no competition there. They can't beat a cash buyer. But it's keeping them informed and having, I call them having those fierce conversations. And again, honesty, integrity, transparency, just be honest and don't try to fluff it. Don't try to make it like, yeah, it hurts. It sucks. We lost another offer. Like, I don't want to show you 10 more houses either. Like, this is no fun for me either. Like, I want you to win as much as you want to win because I want to put you in contract so I can do something else with my life, right? I mean, honestly, like, it sucks for all of us. And there's no, you know, what you commiserate with them. Like, I'm just as disappointed as you are. I'm so tired of showing you houses. They can relate to that. Just be real.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and then I mean, you're in the trenches with them. Let them know that, like, this is not a paycheck for me. I'm just as disappointed as you are. I want you to have your home. And people move away from pain and towards pleasure. What's their why? Why are they shopping in the first place?
Right.
Why are they looking for a home? Are they living with their parents? Is this their first house? Do they need a ranch? Why are we looking for houses? What's their why? And maybe their why is not strong enough and they're wasting your time and it's time to part ways.
And that's okay. So I'm picking up the theme really of relationship when it's just, okay, sure, I'll meet you at that place.
Yeah.
And you're not slowing down, whether before then or after that first showing or appointment, staying in regular communication, being honest and transparent and empathizing with the joys and sorrows of the process. That increases the likelihood that they'll win eventually.
Yeah.
And that they'll feel better about you in the process as well. Quick shift, bonus question. In a market, particularly on the selling side, where it's not hard to get a house in contract, under contract, the value of the agent isn't seen quite as high. Whatever, you post it and get it done. Your teams, I checked through April, 2.91% average GCI, which crushes the averages across the area and in our brokerage. How are you defending your value when the expectation from the seller is you don't do as much as you would in a more difficult market?
This is one of my favorite topics. And there's a number on our listing agreement when we present that exclusive agreement. And I present, I present 7%. And a lot of them sign it. I got a friend that every time I get a listing agreement, 7%. Hey, I got another one, 7%, just rub it in. We're talking about commission compression. And I'm like, it's not a thing. Honestly, my biggest or just my biggest, it's an inside job. It's really an inside job. I sell plenty of houses. I don't need to cut my commission. I don't. I know my value. And I think that we can't prove our value and we can't ask someone to pay what we think we're worth if we don't believe it ourselves. And if they're like, well, so-and-so said he'd do it for half that. Well, then hire so-and-so. I'm not your girl. It's not me. And I've walked out. And then they have a horrible experience and they're like, oh, wow, maybe I should have paid a little more commission. Like, don't be afraid to walk away. I'm not. And I tell them, I'm like, I sell plenty of houses. I'm like, if you're looking for a bargain, I'm not your girl. I'm like, this has been great, but I'll see you later. And I don't have a problem doing that. Sometimes it's real simple to disarm them too, because I have this guy, he's great. We sold him this house that we were debating on whether or not it needed to be knocked down, and he was convinced he could flip it. And then I go and I look and I'm like, yeah, that's great. And he's like, 7%? Are you kidding me? You guys already sold this to me once. I'm like, dude, look around. I should charge you 10. And he just immediately started laughing. I'm like, I got my work cut out for me. And it just instantly
That's
disarmed
awesome.
him. We're all laughing and he's like, all right, where do I sign?
Mhm.
If you go into that appointment, like, they're gonna beat me up, I'm gonna have to, this is the number right here that is on, it's just pre-printed. Keller Williams asks me to, that's what, it'd be like, hey, Keller Williams, this is already pre-printed. This is what we charge for commission. I'm gonna do a fantastic job for you. No one's gonna show better than I do. I'm gonna work harder than anybody else does. I'm gonna take fantastic photography. I'm gonna have a professional listing appointment. I come with gifts. Sometimes I bring my assistant. Every listing appointment, I have some kind of gift for the seller. And I tell them I'm gonna do a fantastic job for you. And if it's a competitive listing, I've done it before. I'll be like, who else did you interview? I will pull up their listings on my laptop. And the last one was like, oh, look at this. There's a picture. That's the agent that listed it. See her in the mirror with her cell phone? That's a great picture. And she's like, oh, yeah, I think I'll list with you. I'm like, they make it easy.
Mhm.
No one says that I can't pull up another agent's listings and show them when it's a competitive listing. A lot, and it doesn't matter if it's 45,000 or 450,000, I pay for professional photography.
Hmm.
You want to know why? She doesn't charge me any more or less. She charged me by the square foot. If it's a 3,000 square foot house and she charges me $300, it doesn't matter if it's 30,000 or if it's 500,000. My photographer charges me the same price.
Mhm.
And my listing is my product.
Mhm.
My listing is my brand. And if I think,
That's good.
oh, it's a cheap house and I can just take cell phone pictures, it's got my name on it.
Mhm.
And it better be good and it better be quality, consistent quality experience every single time. Transparency, integrity, honesty. You have a product, you have a brand, mission, vision, and values. When somebody looks at one of my listings, when one of my buyer's agents is representing a buyer, that's what I want them to see every single time.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, and fighting for that 5-star review means you bring it every single time.
And it's an inside job, you guys. Like when I'm going to a listing appointment, I got my music playing, I got that song playing because I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win and I'm gonna do the best job I can do. And I'm worth it because I do the same thing every time. Some of these listings are not fun, but I'm still gonna get in there. I'm still gonna grind and I'm not gonna check out. I'm gonna answer the phone. I'm gonna set expectations. They get a seller's report every Monday. They get feedback. I don't check out. I'm involved. And then they give me a 5-star review and the next person's like, oh, no wonder they paid so much for you.
Mhm.
There's always going to be Walmart shoppers. There's always going to be Macy's shoppers. Who do you want your clientele to be?
Nordstrom.
There you go.
Anyone have any questions for Tracy before we move forward? Yeah, Jess.
I have a question. I really like that you do gifts and stuff. Like, is it like merch of your stuff or like personal?
Absolutely. It's branded.
Okay.
It's 100% branded. I am not going to show up at a listing appointment asking them to hire me and not have my name on it.
That's good, yeah.
And I was taught classes, like I am a lifetime learner. I love to learn. I love to go to all these things and hear all the things and take all the notes. When you give somebody something, it makes them feel obligated to give you something back. And all I want is a signature.
Yeah, right.
I travel, I have a folder in my car of a blank listing, all my listing documents, every single one of them. I have a seller's guide and I have a listing doc with me at all times because somebody could call me and I'll be like, I'll be there in 10 minutes. I got the documents with me. We're going to sign.
Mhm.
Be prepared.
This might feel like over preparation in this market because again, houses sell. As the market shifts, whenever that is, skills become more important than speed. Right now, it's say first one in the door is most likely to get the listing. And that principle is usually true, but the value that you bring is going to become more important than it
Absolutely.
is now. My parting question for you is what's your song?
Yeah, I was gonna Oh my goodness. It depends on the day.
Okay.
It depends on the day. Huh?
Don't have one shop.
Mhm.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's
That's
a good
Cinderella
one.
Man, to be honest.
Okay, okay,
Mhm.
I can see that. Nice. Well, thank you, Tracy.
I need to, look it up.
Appreciate it. Oh, Doug had one more question.
You know, this is probably the number one pet peeve I have about realtors throughout our area is it just seems like so many have reduced themselves to, and I'm thinking, don't cheapen our industry.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. And they don't realize, just because they don't realize it's a lot of work. We can't cheapen our industry. We're so worth it. You put that out so well. I just love how you did this. But yes, the 7% on there, have buyers or sellers who say, listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, if you're not taking 7, I'm not listening. I won't listen with you because you earned this. You worked your tail off. They know that and they see it, right? So
Yep.
You have to
kudos.
believe in
Thank
your
you so
value.
much for bringing this up, but every time you see 2.5%, if you're a buyer's agent, you're working harder than you ever did as a buyer's agent. You're only getting 2.5%. That's a slap in the face. I hate
You
that.
won't see that on my list.
I hate that deal. So let's be fair with each other.
Mhm, mhm.
Love it.
Spirit of cooperation. Amen. Awesome. Thank you, Tracy. The ladies of Stone Gate.
I really thought it was gonna be Eye of the Tiger.
Is that on purpose? Please let that be on purpose.
What did we do?
Just leave
Turn
the tail.
around.
Oh, it's on me.
You guys told me to leave that tape on there too. Do you remember that?
We'll see you there. We're ready. You're good. You're good.
I'm done.
Last sales meeting, we talked about Earnest, the online way for you guys to deposit earnest money, and it is here. Hallelujah. So we have got a little flyer for you guys to be able to give to your clients. We also have a short little video. Was it able to be uploaded?
Mark's just gotta click the link that says click here.
Oh.
Click here.
And it's not 4 minutes, it's
It's
2 minutes.
So you guys can send this to your clients. We're gonna have it embedded in.
Am I playing it? Is that what desired right now?
Give me
Okay.
two seconds. You can embed, we're gonna have it embedded in the bottom of our emails as well. So if you guys like lose the link, we're gonna email it out to everybody. You just like find one of our emails and then you can send it to your client. It's really meant to be like a step by step, super easy of how to use it. All right, go ahead.
We use it, by the way, and it worked great for our clients.
Okay, good.
We're not going to do this now. We're going to send it to you all.
Well, we don't actually need sound. Okay.
You don't and you
You
won't.
just read it,
Yeah.
if you guys can see it.
Push the link in the arrow settings. Great.
So I did get a text from somebody that is on Zoom. We will post that in the private Facebook group, the flyers that went around, and I'll post the link to this also.
And we'll email them out to everybody. So this, I mean, it literally is a step by step for your clients. But we really wanted you guys to see it so you would know. It's, I don't know if you caught it or not, but it's a two-step verification process. So they're gonna get emailed a code at the very beginning, and then they're gonna get either texted or emailed or even called a code as well when they link to their account. Okay, and so it's Earnest is the name of the company that we're going through. It is with two N's, and that will bother some people. They're like, it's not wrong. No, it's not. It's Earnest. So it uses that, and it uses Plaid for security. Okay, so this is, I don't know if you guys caught the little note at the bottom, but it's the same company for Venmo, Acorns, and Betterment. Those are three very reputable companies that deal with money and interacting with different things. Okay, so very secured server. So that's why there's two steps for verification linking to your bank account. All right, if you guys have questions, if you like rewatch this and you have a quick question, reach out to Sam or I, we'll be able to answer it for you, but just a great tool to be able to use. And again, you guys, make sure you're using the right tool for the right project. Not every client is going to be really great at going online and doing this, and that maybe not every client is going to feel comfortable. Okay, so just, you know, if they have a hard time operating the DVR, this might not be for them. So they can, yeah, right, yeah. So I mean, they're still welcome to, you know, write a check and give that to us as well, or wire funds. So, okay. And they don't get charged for this, by the way. So, okay.
Awesome.
Do you
Thanks,
have
guys.
questions? Yes.
I was just gonna say, with Scott and Lynette, we had two people that did the transaction through online. Give Amanda some grace over there, because she told me it takes 3 to 5 days sometimes to process it. So to be able to get a receipt. So I just figured I'd let everybody know.
Yeah, so your clients are gonna get a receipt that says, hey, it's verified, and then on our end, it's gonna take about 3 days for it to clear on our account. And so, yes, thank you for bringing that up. It'll be about 3 days until you guys get the actual receipt from the title company that, yes, it is deposited. Make sense? All right,
Awesome.
thank you.
Thank you. We have a guest for a few minutes here. One of the joys and challenges of being in real estate is as a 1099 independent contractor, the benefits and how do I handle healthcare? That can be a big, hairy question mark. So KW has recently partnered with a company called Capstone Financial. And Eric, I'm going to pin you or spotlight you. I'm not sure. Here, we'll both be spotlighted, and give us a little bit about who you are and what you do and why it matters for us.
All right. Hey, thanks, Mark, for inviting me in today. I really appreciate it. Hello, all you guys. And Mark nailed it. 1099 agents. Ouch, benefits. It's like the worst problem to figure out. But with Capstone Financial and KWRI, we've partnered together to really provide you guys a very robust solution to this problem. And I just put in the chat box my information and some quick highlights. I'll let it go after that, but we have health insurance solution for you that's full real health insurance that is ACA compliant, dental and vision plans, long and short-term disability, life insurance, financial planning, and cybersecurity solutions. I'd like everybody, if you have any questions, please stick around until later. I'll do a full presentation on this. I have a PowerPoint presentation, and I'm more than happy to take individual questions. If you can't stay for that, use the contact information, contact me directly. I'd be more than happy to talk to any of you. Just say, you know, which market center you're from and your email so that I know where to get back to you.
Thanks, Eric. I apologize for the AV issues today, everyone. We'll get that squared away. So he's going to be here at 12:15. So after this meeting, anyone has interest, come back in. He's going to do a fuller dive on what's available to you. They're beating the marketplace by about 40%. Obviously, everyone's situation is different, but if you are currently getting your benefits from the marketplace, you do well to at least explore, because there's a lot of cool products there. Appreciate it. All right, I will do that. We will go back here. We are going to move through the coaching time and welcome back Gina Legeza. Gina, I am going to get you started here as well. Did we lose her? We must have. For those of you who weren't aware, and I hope this doesn't violate anything for you, Gina, if you are listening, she's battling cancer right now. And this is a second round, and she's receiving treatment. America's Preferred is still providing great care for us. There are other members of the team that I can help connect you to if you know, conflicts arise as she's battling this. So please keep Gina in your prayers as she goes through that treatment. All right, we're almost there. Who's coming down from culture? What are we doing for Red Day? All right, come on down. The ladies of culture. We are almost there, folks.
Can I see that Red Day slide? Or I can look there. Nope, one before that. You were on the right one. I'll just read from
Oh,
here.
and I need to do a share screen.
Yes. So just a couple things. Red Day is Thursday. We plan on starting at 9 a.m. Of course, we don't expect everybody to stay until 5, but we will be volunteering until 5. So if you can donate that much of your time, it would be appreciated. We've got lots to do. We have 70 people signed up. If you have not signed up yet, please do so by 4 o'clock today so I can get everybody a lunch ordered. We will be meeting at this address. I will be texting it out to everybody as well, so you have it morning of. And if you can, carpool and save us the trouble that the parking lot will be. So try to find a friend and save money on gas. Try not to be the one that's driving, double win. And then we have a goal today. We would like
Yes.
to.
So we're trying to raise $500 in here today, so we can buy the rest of the stuff today. Me and Mark are going at 3:30 to buy the rest of the things that we need. So get excited, get your phones out. Even if you donate $10, that will make a huge difference and be able to make it successful for the day. We've already had, our goal was actually 800. We already had 300 received. So be one of those people and get your phones out. You could Venmo from here or just screenshot it or let me know. The code is just my name.
Why don't you talk about some of the stuff that we need still?
Yeah, so some of the stuff that we need is, we need to get flowers. Our donation for flowers didn't go through. So we need to get some flowers. We need to get mulch for outside. We need command strips to hang up all of the posters and things that we got for decor. We have light fixtures for the entrance. We need to get the new light bulb so it's brighter in the entryway. Right now it's pretty dark and dingy. We need to get black spray paint, expo markers, chalk markers, seed packets, because we have a raised garden bed that they want to take on projects. So I will get them seeds and let the kids plant. And then we need lots of mulch still. So please donate some money. And we need clothing racks, double-sided tape, t-shirts and hats that are blank. And these are things that if you want to talk to me at the end that you want to bring in yourself and not donate money, that also works. Hey, we'll take that too. Just let me know. We also need to get feminine products and then paper, pencils and folders. So those are the main big things.
So they can donate now, but then we're also going to have a little fun for a minute. Is that right?
We have called in reinforcements to have a lot of fun. Our very own Dutton group is going to come out here and assist and hopefully make raising this $500 possible and a lot of fun.
So Jose and his team have generously donated. You may struggle to see, but these are open house flags that, you know, they're raising much more of a ruckus than those sad old normal open house signs that you're dealing with right now.
All right, we're pretty close.
So they have 4 of them.
You got 4 for the banners. right?
Yes, correct.
Courtesy of Jose. And Amanda wrote, and maybe I missed this, what the 3rd Street address, what is the red date that we're doing? Is it
The Straight Path Program,
okay,
that's their location.
okay. So it's like a community center or
For
what?
kids after school.
Okay,
It gives them a place so they don't do drugs and alcohol. Kids that are forgotten about in Maslin are the kids that don't play football. So this gives them that space.
Okay, so it's like an after-school program, person. Nice. Okay.
Yep.
Good deal.
All right.
Thanks for the favor.
So they can bid online, right?
They can bid online.
And you can bid
We'll
here,
monitor
right?
That, check, yeah, you can bid here, and we got
Who's-
4.
Who's gonna watch the online? Or will we see it?
Oh, so we're bidding for the open house thing.
Yeah,
Correct.
bidding for the
And
sign.
all the proceeds
So
go through.
proceeds are gonna go to the Red Day. Red Day. We got 4 banners,
They'll be here. We pick them up here.
and Jack, I really don't understand how you can have an open house without an open house banner
No.
out front.
Because banners and signs that exciting.
We're already at 3:35.
You're already having a lot of fun with banners and
So
so.
we have 4 of them.
I got $25, Jack.
Go ahead.
25, 35. Who gets-
Yeah, right there.
35. Christian, he's gonna have some open houses.
Yeah.
35, 45, 35, 45.
You can bid online now.
I got 35, hey, and it's a donation to the after-school program.
Yes,
in
yes,
Aspen
yes.
For Red
yes,
Day.
yes.
Christian, you're in, these things are $100 a piece.
Let's buy a piece.
Buy the piece, you can get 4 of them. So you gotta get in because you know Christian's gonna take all 4.
If he does.
50, thank you, 60. I can go ahead, I'm moving down 60. I got 100, thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
I got 100 bid, 100 quarter, hundreds of bid. Everybody
Now we have an auction. See how
Now
it
we've
works?
got an auction. 100 bid, we're not even halfway there. 100, 100 quarter.
Somebody
I
give
got
125. Yep.
125, thank you, Scott Keller. 125, now 135. I got
Auction
125,
etiquette.
135.
You get penalized if you only bid once.
You gotta bid twice. 130. 130 help you? 130, you gotta get.
Go ahead, 130. Take it over outside home.
Scott right now is the only one that's got an open house banner for 100 and a quarter is the bid. 130 is the
Online.
bid.
Anybody online?
130, 120, can they see us online or hear us? 125 and 130, anybody else? Christian, you only bid once. Sam, you only bid
Online,
once.
130.
Scott, thank you very much.
Oh!
We got 3 more. We got 3 more.
Listen, he doesn't take all of them. Scott, how many do you want? Do you want all of them?
No.
We're only gonna be doing one open house at a time right
So
now.
take one.
Achilles, you want one? 125, and then you want one 125? So,
She'll do 125.
125, so I got 2 left. Anybody else?
Back up better.
I'll do 100.
Okay.
That's not how this auction works. That's the Chinese auction.
We're not doing a Chinese Dutch auction.
No, this is a live auction.
Anybody online?
2 left. Thank you, Melissa Steiner, 125, got 1 left. Anybody else want it for one?
Anybody online? 125?
Good cause, good cause.
Yeah, I got cash.
Raise your hand, last one. Dude, you got a bunch of buyer's agents in here or what?
I think.
Hey, open house, last one. Holly, thank you very much.
Thank you, Holly.
125, Holly Van Rapper takes all 4.
Okay. Now, Sarah, for the next 5 minutes or so, I think Mercedes has her account open. So if anybody wants to give $5, $10, feel free to do it.
Yep. Now, how much fun that was. We have a class coming up in a couple weeks. a
Yes,
CE
May
class
25th.
That we're also going to be doing it in conjunction with Cross Country Mortgage.
Mortgage, right.
To learn about the benefits that we provide with your sellers and
Agents will earn their full listing commission. They'll understand the auction process. They'll gain another marketing option. They'll know no more expired listings, and they'll learn how sellers benefit. So it's a fun class. It's free CE. It's 1 hour.
Yep.
CE accredited approved.
What's the day?
May 25th.
May
It-
25th.
Lunch by Cross Country and Cliff is at 11 o'clock. That follows Gina's class.
Yep,
And then we'll get started right at 11:30.
perfect.
All right.
It'll be on Zoom as well.
Have a question back here.
No Zoom.
It won't be
No,
Zoom.
it's gonna be Zoom.
Because I can't get the registration. It has to be applied through the state in online because to give a certificate,
I got
this one you have to be in person.
We know you're not paying attention on
Tracy has a
Zoom.
question.
On Zoom, how far did you guys travel? Does that?
So we go to Sandusky, to Ashtabula County, down to Noble County, Martins Ferry. I mean, we go all over. We do a lot of Richland. Yeah, so Richland County,
Yeah.
we love Richland County. We'll
Yeah.
drive for food, so.
So anybody want to donate, feel free to do it. $5, $10, $25. Right to Red Day.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we hit the 500, right?
We are at, well, with the donations from that, yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Congratulations, guys.
They could sell ice to an Eskimo, right, guys? Awesome. I am confused about how our computers are relating to each other, so we're gonna call it because it's 12:02. Keep an eye on emails and texts. We've got a lot of great classes coming up. I'm doing a wealth building class tomorrow that is Zoom only, unless you're in Mansfield, then it's happening in the Mansfield office. Go and have some lunch. 12:15 back in here. Well, we'll have the AV all sorted out for Eric to talk a little bit more about benefits. Thanks, guys.